Thanks for tuning in, everybody. I'm Andrew Luftglass with the Denison Sports Network. The Big Red men's lacrosse season opens up this Saturday, and so we're joined by head coach Mike Caravana. Coach, last season was one of the best for the Big Red in recent memories. You won another NCAC title, and then you beat number 3 Lynchburg on the way to the Elite Eight in the NCAA tournament. How does that success feel, and then how do you build on it?
Well, it's always great to have an accomplishment like that for us, really, to go through the whole season and play as well as we did. We had a special team last year, certainly. We had a great group of seniors that we'll miss, as well as just a great group of guys who really came together as a team and played well. But we have to build upon that. That was last year's team, and we have a tradition of success, and it's other players' turns to kind of step up and continue that this year. And we're looking forward to the challenge that starts on Saturday in Cincinnati.
And you did lose 3 All-Americans last year. Davis Lukens, Corey Couture, and Nick Farrell all graduated. Who do you expect to step in and fill their roles this year?
Well, they're kind of unique guys. All, generally played a fair amount since they were freshmen. So it's going to be hard to fill their roles. I think we're going to have to do it in different ways with different players. Certainly, Tommy Harrison is going to have to step up and be kind of our All-American defenseman, but we have another young man who was our 4th defenseman last year, Drew Newman, who's very, very good, who's a sophomore. In the midfield, we're going to have a couple of senior guys, Nick Verkelen and Tyler King, are going to have to step up and try to fill the voids of Davis Lukens. But we also have a freshman from Richmond, Virginia, named Blair Farrenhold, who's very good as well. Who'll see some playing time. On the attack, it's going to be more of a committee thing, given that we were almost like 2 years ago and we were a little bit younger. We've got Eddie Vita coming back, who's an exceptional scorer. He might have to handle the ball a little bit more than he did in the past, but now that he's a junior and had some experience, he'll be able to do that. And then Teddy Powell, a sophomore attackman from Jacksonville, Virginia, and then Nick Caravana, also from Granville, who's also 2 sophomores. And we've had the emergence of what we thought of Justin DeMarchi, who's a freshman attackman from Canada who can really put the ball in the cage. So it's going to be a little more of a group work, I think, on attack, but we're going to expect a little bit more out of individuals in the midfield.
Your early season schedule is far from easy. Your home openers against Washington Lee, then 2 weeks later you turn around and go on the road to play Haverford. How have you prepared for that tough non-conference schedule?
Well, I'm not really sure that we prepared for the non-conference schedule tough enough. We look at it in kind of segments. We just kind of finished our preseason scrimmages against 2 Division I teams and an outstanding Division II team in Seton Hall. Not Seton Hall, but Seton Hill from Pennsylvania. Now we're gearing towards obviously getting ourselves comfortable in the game situation versus Mount St. Joe's, and then gearing up for our, kind of our big preseason kind of game versus Washington Lee. Then we can kind of have another couple of weeks to kind of gather ourselves, evaluate ourselves from Washington Lee, and then get on the road and play 3 tough games in the spring break. Then we come back and play some of the less experienced conference teams, and then go back out and play Cabrini and then Ohio Wesleyan and Wittenberg and Kenyon, our stronger local teams, to end the season. So we've kind of looked at it more in segments and trying to figure out who we are in each segment, and then trying to grow from each segment once we do the evaluations, and that's going to be the key to our team. I think we're a little bit less experienced than we were in the past, but it doesn't mean that we can't play our best lacrosse at the end of the season, which is always our goal. We just might have to go at it in a little bit different manner, given that we have less experienced players, and realize that what we need to do with this team and how we need to do it could take a little bit of a different way, as well as a different time frame.
And in the NCAC, the level of play has picked up a lot in recent years, has in the region as well. With a lot more kids playing lacrosse, how has the recruiting game changed for you?
Well, the recruiting game hasn't changed much for us. We still look at ourselves as a national school, and we feel like we can compete on a national basis for any recruits. But I think it's just gotten, with more good players available and more programs investing in travel money to watch kids play and assistant coaches that are full-time. It's just that the other teams are kind of rising up and doing the same things that we're doing. So there's plenty of players out there that can play. So it's just a matter of getting the best players that fit the Denison academic profile first, that fit our profile as players, and then hopefully, no different than any Division III school, I think that there's something to be said for player development, and we've got to keep continuing to do a good job with that.
Well, we'll take a historical look at the program now. Denison this season celebrates its 60th year of varsity competition. This season will be your 20th year at the helm. Taking a step back, what does it mean to you to be such a long-time part of this program?
Well, it's special to be, certainly to be the coach at Denison. I think it's certainly one of the most storied programs in the history of college lacrosse, no matter what division you're at. So it's a big responsibility. I mean, I look at it that way, certainly, both on and off the field for us, and the precedent that's been set here has been high, both academically, socially, and athletically. And it's kind of the fun part of being the coach here, though, is that I'm a competitive person. I don't want to be around a program that doesn't have high aspirations for itself, and so passing those high aspirations on to our players and our recruits as they choose to come here is important, but yet working with them together so all of us can find that kind of success is what we're all about. And it's just an important thing here at Denison, I think, as a school and our alumni, that we go out and do things the right way. We might not always be as successful as we like, but we expect to do things at a high level all the time.
And you open up this Saturday against Mount St. Joseph. Other than a win, of course, what do you want to see from your team in that game?
Well, we want to see certainly, a great amount of poise in our play. Again, we might be young, but we still feel that we're talented. We'd like to be able to think that the two scrimmages that we've had the last couple of weeks should help us with our poise and our ability to execute, both under pressure and now under the game pressure that's out there. And obviously, we want to take a couple of things that we learned this weekend and try to get better at it. I mean, our goal again is to just keep trying to improve, and at the same time keep our enthusiasm up, play with a lot of passion. That's always been a part of Denison lacrosse, and go out there and play good, just good lacrosse. We pride ourselves on being better longer than a lot of other teams, and that starts with our competition and how we go about things in practice every day.
Well, thanks a lot, Coach. Thanks for joining us. The Big Red men's lacrosse season opens up this Saturday on the road against Mount St. Joseph. They'll then play their home opener on the 24th against Washington and Lee. For Coach Mike Caravana, I'm Andrew Luftglass. Thanks for watching the Denison Sports Network.